Repeat offenders leaving a trail of carnage in liberal cities. A career criminal with 17 prior arrests randomly stabbing two teenage girls who were visiting New York City on Christmas Day. The lunatic reportedly yelled, "I want all the white people dead." Thankfully, both the girls sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Cops arresting 36-year-old homeless man Stephen Hutcherson for the ruthless attack. He's facing multiple hate crime charges, including attempted murder. Just 2 weeks ago, Hutcherson pleaded guilty to third-degree assault after he reportedly threatened to kill a man, but the judge let him out. The victim in that previous attack telling the New York Post that Hutcherson shouldn't have been on the streets at all. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams, well, he's weighing in on what happened.
Anytime you have incidents in these high-profile locations, it sends the feeling of, people don't feel safe. And that's why we have to make sure we, zero in, make the arrests as soon as possible, and make sure we get those repeated offenders off our streets.
Kendi, maybe people don't feel safe because somebody with 17 priors, including pulling a gun on a man, was walking around on the streets.
It's Grand Central. Grand Central is one of the places where when you're visiting the city and you want to go somewhere iconic and Christmassy, that's where you go. Nice family from South America sitting down, trying to have breakfast. And this guy comes up, stabs one girl in the back, the other in the thigh. They're very lucky that they weren't murdered because that's what he was trying to do. But he's had this intent. The prior with the gun and the man, he was telling him, I don't care if they gave you a green card, go back to where you're from. And, he's racist. He's violent. I don't know what these judges are waiting for to happen next, but that's what is making the city feel unsafe, is because it is unsafe, because they're doing a really, really bad job of keeping violent people who've already committed violent felonies off the street, because guess what they're going to do? And it doesn't matter if it's organized retail theft or assault. They're going to do it again. They feel emboldened. I get it. He's mentally ill. But the judge releases him over and over and over again, but to no psychiatric care. It is mind-boggling, and it's not just about feeling unsafe. The mayor is also not doing enough to work with the DA to make sure these people are kept off the streets.
Jessica, that's kind of the premise here. This guy is insane, I guess, but he's also racist and trying to kill people. He's violent. And so with 17 prior offenses, the most recent one being pulling a gun out, or allegedly, holding it to a guy that wasn't white and saying, "Why are you working for white people?" and then threatening to kill him for going to work. He gets arrested, and now you have a justice system that says maybe it's because he has mental problems that they don't want to put him in jail. Well, I know that there's a lot of talk in this city about about the places where mentally ill people used to go that are shut down, and there's reasons for that. So then what's the answer to it?
Make more of them that run properly and treat people who are mentally ill with dignity and they can get the care that they need. Make sure that our shelter system isn't overcrowded with people who shouldn't be in it. And I have very little bad to say about undocumented people who are here in the country, but they have taken shelter beds away from New Yorkers and people from Chicago and Baltimore and all these places who have a right to be part of the system here. And that's a big problem. So there was abuse, should be creating more. I'm not for the island and wherever, like sending them away to some sort of colony, but obviously this needs to be addressed. And I think that Mayor Adams is doing the right thing in talking about feelings, because crime and safety is one of those issues that is a feeling issue. The statistics, and we went over this last week, the new FBI stats do not hold up, that things are worse than they were. We've gotten so much better over year from 2022 to 2023. Violent crime, property crime, murder has plummeted at the fastest rate ever recorded.
Well,
those are the facts. No, but there was obviously a huge spike at the beginning of the pandemic, and it has come down substantially. It is safer today for us to walk outside than it was at this time last year. Period. End of story. But you can't change how people feel about it. If they see that their products are locked up at a CVS, if this is happening in Grand Central where you feel safe, or you should feel safe. Penn Station never felt as safe as Grand Central to me.
Yes.
But that is the problem. But we need proper humane care
But
for
okay,
these sick people.
On the statistics issue, when it comes to cities like New York, a lot of crimes aren't actually properly recorded. So therefore, the crime stats are going down, even though when Mayor Adams says, well, people don't feel safe. No, it's not they don't feel safe. There's a big difference between feeling away and then reality of not being safe. If you can't sit down at Grand Central, one of the most famous tourist destinations in the entire world, on Christmas morning with your family without having your lung collapsed by a 17-time offender, you are unsafe. And that is happening all over the place with people randomly stabbing girls, bodega owners. And it's so interesting that in this city, they're really tough on someone who is wanting to follow the rules, wants to get a handgun to defend themselves. If they break any of the laws, they're going straight to jail. But this guy pulls out a gun and threatens someone with a deadly weapon, and he gets out back on the street so he can victimize these young girls from another country again. And that's the whole point. If you let these people out of jail under the guise of mental illness, which is not an excuse, by the way, especially if they're violent, they're going to hurt someone else. You are putting innocent people in positions where their lives will be changed forever as a result of those decisions. It doesn't have to be that way.
The shopkeeper with video surveillance footage showing that he was defending himself with a knife, he goes to jail, no questions asked. And you have to rally to get him out of jail for defending himself with a knife. This guy's got 17 prior tires. He uses a knife, and, let's hope he stays in jail this time.
Here's what's disheartening. The police department, the defunded police department, did their job 17 times.
Yeah.
They've arrested this guy.
Yeah.
Men and women in blue are doing their part. Then he goes to a DA and he's sent right back out. This guy's claiming he wants to kill white people because he's figured out that is a defense now. He's oppressed. Even though he's stabbing people from South America and a man of color, doesn't matter. It was they're doing the Hamas thing where we attack, pillage, do whatever we want to. And if you say anything to us, it was because the other group started first a million years ago. So he's doing these things. He says, I want to kill all white people. It's a defense now. He feels oppressed. He feels something wrong. The way that they're tweaking the system in these cities, everyone should be afraid. 17 times this man was put in cuffs, book him, Johnson, and he was turned out in the street. So if you have daughters, and it doesn't matter what color you are, if you're a minority and you're out there going, well, he wants to kill white people. This dude is killing or stabbing or attempting to kill 2 girls from South America. So he doesn't really care. He just knows what to say. So whenever you hear the mental illness thing, he's smart enough to know what to yell, because that will get him attention from these groups who are saying he's oppressed.
Yeah, and I think Katie brings up probably the best point about this is that statistics are not layered year after year the same when you don't have as many cops writing as many police reports, and a lot of crimes are looked at as we know this person isn't going to be held accountable. And so I think that's part of the problem.
17 times they did the job.
All right, from banning gas stoves to cracking down on washing machines, Democrats are declaring war on your appliances, but maybe not theirs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.